In this video, I want to share with you how I cracked Spotify's algorithm for one of my songs that I was actually really struggling to promote. This song had done really well on Spotify. It's at about 6 million plus streams. It got played on SiriusXM Octane, and it's paid us tens of thousands of dollars, but I could not get it to work with ads and cracking Spotify's algorithm to the next level. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how I did that, because we did it with another song, with this hip hop song, but I had to take a different approach for this song. And this is what I tell a lot of my students: you got to try different things and you've got to test. It's always a guess until you test. And you might be like, well, if that song, has got 6 million streams, why don't you move on to something else? Well, this is the thing that my mentor taught me. Instead of getting bored with a song, I get paid with it, and I lean into that song. My name's Chris, also known as the Artist Manifest. I have about 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. We had songs in the Super Bowl and the Olympics last year, and I write full-time for TV and film, and I love to release hip-hop and rock songs. And I created this business, Smart Music Business, I guess back in 2014, because I've made a lot of mistakes, and I want to help you avoid those mistakes. So these are my 3 moves that you need to make to crack the algorithm for your song. And so step 1 is it's choosing that song that you want to promote. Okay, decide what song it is. And it's got to be already out there. And what we need to learn is we need to learn how to drive streams to that song. Just because you release the song, Spotify is not just going to go, oh, find it for you and promote it. Even Sam Duboff said in that other video that I shared of that interview, he's the head of marketing at Spotify, that the artists that are winning and crushing it, they're hustling and driving those initial first streams. And when you give Spotify streams, you're also giving it data to work with, right? Because it's saying, oh, okay, these types of people are listening to the song, but not just listening to it. These ones are specifically saving it. They're not skipping it. They're adding it to playlists. So since we've got good data on these people, let's go find more fans like that, or customers for them that would like this song. And they start to share that song out for you, right? I shared earlier, and I share this in my book, Playlist Profits, which I'll put the link below, is that my song Teardrops was only getting like 300 streams a day. And so we ran meta ads and promoted this song. And the first month, we jumped it up to 1,000, I think it was. But then Spotify's algorithm grabbed a hold of it. And what I mean by algorithm is I mean like the radio playlist. I mean Discover Weekly, right? I mean the DJ playlist. They're always going to have all these new algorithmic playlists, but all of a sudden they start sharing it out. And so it's kind of like I paid for the first 1,000 streams. I bought streams by running ads and impressions. I didn't buy streams, but kind of I did. I paid for the advertising that drove people to the song on the playlist, got those streams, and then Spotify, based on that, was like, yo, dude, this song's dope, and they're going to share it out, and it started to give me thousands. And so it's like I did the first initial work, and then Spotify did its work. Okay, so you got to decide which song it is that you want to do. That's step 1. Then step 2 is you need to create at least 6 to 8 ads, sometimes even more. Yeah, that's right, 6 to 8 different creative ads so that you can test. Normally I say you don't even run an ad unless you got 2, but what I've learned and what I'm teaching my students is you need to have a lot more, and you got to just try more things, right? Sometimes it's you in it, sometimes it's something else. And this is what I was struggling with my song Save You. Like I was trying all these performance videos of me, and some of them really worked organically, but they just weren't working with ads. And what do I mean by they weren't working with ads? Well, the cost per click was too high, because you spend per, 1,000 impressions. And so Facebook's showing this out to 1,000 people, and not that many people were clicking on it. Well, then when I got an ad that worked, all of a sudden, and I'm still paying for the same amount of impressions, but this is the thing. More people are clicking on it when they see it. It's kind of like when you go onto Netflix or you go onto YouTube and you're like, hey, Mr. Beast has a different thumbnail for that video, or that TV show I watch has a different thumbnail. Oh, I'm going to click on that. What do you think Netflix and these YouTubers are doing? They're split testing thumbnails so that they can get you and I to click on it. Well, this is the same thing we need to do with our advertising, right? We got to try different creatives to get people to click over. And I had it working for my hip hop song. It was just a music video at the chorus. Well, I was trying all kinds of different things for this song, Save You, and then I finally got something that worked. Some of it was extreme sports stuff, skateboarding, a bunch of different things. All of a sudden started working. I was just like, I'm just going to go crazy and try these different ads. And what kind of ads am I talking about here? And this is really step 3, is meta ads, okay? I'm running Instagram and Facebook ads, right? In the feed with my song, linking to the Spotify playlist with my song, or go directly to the album or go directly to the song. You can do, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's just like, get in the game and just do it. Stop asking questions and just take action and test, right? Because it's always a guess until you test, right? And so we turned on these meta ads and started driving this traffic. And what's really interesting is once we found the ad that works, well, we turn off the ones that aren't and we just put more budget to the one that is and we scale it up. And then maybe we try and beat that ad with something else. It's like, okay, these aspects or this part of the song worked, all right? This call to action, this copy, I was also trying a lot of different copy. And again, what I tell my students on my Spotify 5-day challenge is, in your ad copy, that's not the time to be creative. That's the time to be clear, all right? If you're a songwriter, you might know the principle, keep it simple, stupid, right? I'll never forget, I used to play songs, my demos, when I first got into music to producers, and they'd be like, what is the song about again? You know, because I was being too creative and too clever that the song didn't even make sense. And that kind of tells you that, yeah, you need to rewrite that song because it's not very clear. Well, it's the same thing with your advertising. If it's not calling out to me, if I don't know what it's about, then I'm just going to skim over it. But if your ad's like, boom, rock song by this artist, whatever, you know, title of the song, it's like, ooh, that intrigues me. And I like the song and the visual is dope. Then all of a sudden I'm going to lean in. And this is how we scale. And so I just got an email on Friday from Apple Artists that my song, the Shazams, jumped up by 800%. Okay, so that means that a Shazam it's an app that people play or turn on when they hear a song, and it picks up, it kind of records the song, and it tells you what song that is so that you can listen to it on Apple Music. And they jumped up 800%. All of a sudden we got hundreds of Shazams. And of course, my streams finally shot up. And I was able to get my streams up before, but I was just paying a lot. But when you get that cost per click low, like I'm talking less than 30 cents American, right? Then you don't have to spend as much. And then when you do spend a lot, you get a lot more for your budget. But what else happens? You get more shares on that ad. You get more likes. You get more comments. And that drives your ad costs down even more, right? And so all these things benefit. I just checked my lyric video for that song. All of a sudden, the search traffic has jumped up. And I looked at 30 days. I looked at 90 days to really show the graph. And it showed like right where I turned off on the ad, poof. Or I should say right when I really scaled the ad, it's like it jumped up. So you can do this, okay? You can do this. We teach you how, and you can ask questions on my Spotify 5-day challenge if you want to ask questions. We also got the Playlist Profits Masterclass, or get the new ebook that I dropped, okay? If you're just like, I don't know, this guy seems a little sketchy, drop money on the ebook, okay? I think it's like $27-37. It'll come with the ebook and audio when it's done. But you can pre-order right now and get access to it, or just get the full masterclass, which comes with a Spotify 5-day challenge ticket. So then you can go through the course and then come and ask questions. But the main thing is just take action, man. Don't worry about making a mistake. Like, you're going to make a mistake. You might not understand ads. But what I try to teach my students is just get in the game. Get your hands dirty, you know? Like, sure, you know, we help people with ads, but it's just so easy once you figure it out. You really don't want to be outsourcing it. Sometimes we take on clients or whatnot, but it's just like, I'd rather just teach you. You don't want to outsource your marketing in that aspect, honestly. Like, sure, for a little bit to learn if they can teach you or whatnot, but then you want to just hand the baton off to you and just freaking roll with it because you want to be in control. That's what my hero, Peter J. Daniels, said, is that the number one law of success is to maintain control. Yes, we outsource different things, but just like you wouldn't outsource your love life, I don't recommend you outsourcing your marketing. You build your marketing team, but you want to know how to pull the levers, which buttons to press, so that you can be in control. And you can be a great marketer and still be a great creative and a creator and make songs. I've written more songs than I have in my lifetime while running this business just because I'm focused, right? I'm focused to work on things that matter and get rid of the things that don't. And one of the things that we really try to teach is clarity, focus. Follow one course until successful, right? Follow one coach until successful. A lot of you're jumping from me, you're jumping to all the other guys and gals out there, and you're not focusing and just taking action. I also like to say, stop being addicted to education and allergic to execution. Okay? Get in the game.